Hello viewers, this is Cynthia Michael from Screen Reviews, bringing you a new podcast on my segment called The Boruto Review. And like always, I hope that everybody's okay, with this coronavirus. I just wanted to say that first. I'd like, hoping everybody's okay, with the coronavirus. But anyway, like always, I'm gonna speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly, in case you don't understand me. Also, I try to do my best not to breathe so hard during this audio podcast recording as well, not to cause any audio feedback as well. And finally, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain your adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will have some adult language. Now, if you're over 18, that means you're going to watch this audio podcast recording. So anyway, let's get into the latest episode of Boruto. So basically, the episode of Boruto starts off like this. So basically, it was Boruto's first day to being the bodyguard to Tento, the Fire Lord's son. So basically, Boruto met Tento at a big outdoor hotel somewhere in the Leaf Village. So basically, turns out Tento used his black card to buy the hotel and rent the whole fucking hotel out. So basically, so basically all the butlers, everybody in there, were all bought by Tento's black cards. So anyway, Boruto was like, so basically Boruto was impressed about the hotel. He was kind of shocked that he was sort of kind of surprised that Tento used his black card to buy the whole hotel. So anyway, Tento was like, was happy to see Boruto, but Boruto was not happy to be there, being Tento's bodyguard, cause he thinks, Boruto thinks that Tento was destroyed black, so basically, Boruto was not really happy to be there, but he remembered what Ruka Sensei told him in the previous episode, like, you forget Tento is the Fire Lord's son, so basically, he could, if you disrespect the Fire Lord's son, this could have a negative effect against our village and especially your father. So basically, Boruto has no choice but to trying to deal with Tento. So anyway, basically Boruto was just Tento asked Boruto to do his shadow clone jutsu. So basically Boruto did what Tento said, and he showed him his shadow clone jutsu. So basically, Tento was kind of impressed, but he said that your father can make 1,000, shadow clone jutsu. So basically, and Boruto got mad. So basically, Tento said, tell me a transformation jutsu. So basically, Boruto decided to use the sexy jutsu, and turn him and himself into sexy, beautiful women to try to shock, Tento. But Tento was not shocked, and was shocked of Boruto and his clone transformed into beautiful women. He started to laugh. So basically, I see things like this all the time. I see beautiful women like this all the time. So basically, Tento was not shocked at Boruto's sexy jutsu. It turns out that Tento sees beautiful women all the time like this. So basically, he was not surprised and shocked by Boruto's sexy jutsu. So basically, Boruto transformed back to normal and got rid of his shadow clone. So basically, Boruto was at this point was pissed off until Tento until Tento showed Boruto his ninja card collection. So basically, Boruto was kind of impressed at Tento's car collection. So basically, Tento had every car that's set to the special Naruto Hokage car. So basically, like the car that Tento is trying to get from eBay, that's the only car he doesn't have in his collection. So basically, like Tento is like wanted Boruto to teach him some how so basically Tento asked Boruto for a request to teach him some ninjutsu and whatnot. So basically, basically some simple ninjutsu and shit like that. So basically Boruto was like, Boruto was like, maybe I would teach you some. Maybe I will teach you. I'm gonna teach you some simple ninja. I'm gonna teach you some simple ninja training. So basically, maybe if things go well, maybe I can help you get that card that you need to complete your collection. So basically, Boruto and Tento made a deal. And they started to do some basic ninja training. Basically, practicing during shuriken shuriken, outside the hotel and stuff. So basically, Boruto was teaching, Tento how to drill shurikens and whatnot to tell him the basic stuff and whatnot. So anyway, while that was going on, Naruto and the future Lord Yuki. I hope I'm pronouncing his name. The Fire Lord, basically like Naruto at the Hokage office was talking to the future Lord of Fire about something. Turns out that the Fire Lord saying that he was talking about cutting the defense billet, cutting the defense budget, cutting the defense budget down. So basically, since the Fire Lord said that it doesn't make any sense to spend more money on defense. Now this era, since it's the era of peace. But Naruto's like, it's true, but this is a temporary peace. There's still a lot of even though this is the era of peace, but still there's still a lot of, there still could be new threats that can threaten this era of peace. So basically, Naruto kind of convinced the Fire Lord not to cut down the defense budget for now, but so basically Lord Yuki, I think he's dead. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But what? It took Naruto's words into consideration. It seems like Yuki's not going to cut the defense budget of the Hidden Leaf Village in the Land of Fire in half and whatnot. So basically, for now. So anyway, Lord Yuki said that soon I'll be going home, but I still have some couple of things to do. I still got a couple of things to do when I hear. So basically, I hope that your son Boruto will be a good. When my son requested that Boruto to be his bodyguard, I hope that I hope that he will become a good, he have a good influence over my son Tento. So basically, like I say, Boruto does have. Every time that my son Boruto meets someone, he always seems to just find a way to change that person. So basically, Lord Yuki is like, I hope that your son will walk with my son. That way, he won't go up with spoiled brat and whatnot. So anyway, meanwhile, back at And meanwhile, back at the hotel, Tento's butler was looking to Tento and Boruto, and he finally found him and found him. He finally found him on the hotel ground, but he was kind of shocked to see Tento join kunais, was joining kunais at a Target. So basically, like the butler's like, Tento, you should not be doing this. Like, you and especially you, Boruto, why you let him join kunai? So basically, like Tento said that, I asked Boruto to teach me how to do, to do some simple ninja, to do some simple ninja training. So basically, it's not his fault. So basically, the butler was like, started to calm down. It's like, all right, Dad. So basically, like, the butler, Tento's butler saying, I'm gonna let you continue with your ninja training. Continue practicing your kunai training, ninja training with Boruto. So basically, while Tento was still trying to practice, during a shooting at the Target, the butler explained that, that Tento's father is always was talking about Tento, since Tento's father is a future lord, his father doesn't have much time to spend with him. So basically, for his birthday, he gave him a black card. That way, he can buy anything he wants to. So basically, Tento was kind of bummed that his father gave him the black card to buy anything that he wanted. But Tento decided to use that black card to get into collecting ninja info cards and whatnot. Ninja info cards, and get into tournaments that way, to keep him busy, and maybe maybe to get his father to notice him. So basically, after Boruto had the whole backstory of Tento's, the whole backstory about Tento's and why he collects ninja cards and all that other stuff, Boruto felt kind of sorry to Tento, because he was just like, Boruto was just like Tento, just like Tento a while ago when his father tried to, get his father to notice him and whatnot. So basically, he felt kind of bad, thinking that Tento was a spoiled brat and whatnot. So anyway, after, and after finally Tento managed to hit the target. So basically, Tento was so proud, and Boruto was happy that Tento was able to hit the target with the shuriken. So basically, like, the butler said, like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to the hotel and get dinner ready. Well, I'm gonna let you guys train a bit more. So anyway, when the butler went back to the hotel, he got jumped by a couple of the Meiji games. So basically, when the butler went back to the hotel, he got jumped by the Meiji gang and got kidnapped. So anyway, after the sun kind of set it, Boruto and Tento. Boruto and Tito headed back to the hotel, to play the ninja info card game and whatnot together at the hotel. So basically, Tito was like, was asking Boruto, why did you become a ninja? So basically, Boruto was like, why are you asking that question? Because my father, the future lord, say that he admires ninjas. He likes ninjas because of the code and honor and whatnot. So basically, if I was a ninja, maybe my father will get to notice me, and spend more time with me. So basically, Boruto was like, like Boruto, like was had a real conversation with Tento, like I know how you feel. My father is the Hokage. Sometimes he doesn't get sometimes we don't get to spend a lot of time together, but he always tries his best. So basically, like it's no doubt that your father does love you. So basically, like deep down, your father loves you, and by the time that he does get to by the time that he does get to spend with you, it's he will try to do his best to spend more time with you if you let him if you talk to him. So basically, spending more time with him. So basically, Tento is like was so moved by Boruto's words, and he Tento gave Boruto for the device about his getting his father to notice him, telling his father that telling his father his feelings about spending more time together. Together and whatnot. So anyway, so basically Boruto so basically Boruto managed to get Tento the card that he needed to finish his collection. So basically, Tento was so happy to get the card, but he felt like he didn't earn he didn't want to accept the card because he didn't earn it. But Boruto said after seeing how hard you work on your ninja training, you did earn this card. So basically Tento was so happy that that he earned the final card that he needed to complete his collection and whatnot. And for the next few days, him and Boruto became good friends. They started to hang out together, train together and whatnot. So anyway, on his last day, so basically on his last day, so the next 2 days, Boruto and Tento became friends, and started to train together and whatnot. So basically on the last day, Tento was about to leave soon. So basically, Tento's father's business was wrapping up in leaf village and whatnot. So basically on the last day, Tento was that he wished he didn't have to leave, but it's the duty of it's the duty of the physical Lord to go where he needed. So anyway, so basically Tento and Boruto said goodbye, and Boruto went on home. So I noticed to him the butler that got replaced by one of the Meiji gang. So basically, the butler who got kidnapped got replaced by one of the Meiji gang. Turns out that member of the Meiji gang was the boss of the Meiji gang. So basically, when the butler got mad, the boss of the Meiji gang disguised himself as Tento's butler. Is and reported to his members that soon we're gonna have the future Lord. Soon the future Lord is about to leave soon. So basically, that's when I'm gonna make my move and kidnap him. To kidnap him and his son, and we're telling his so basically the boss of the Meiji gang, Shogu, that's how you say his name, but please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing the boss of the Meiji gang, name wrong. So anyway, the boss of the Meiji gang saying that the future Lord is about to leave the village soon. So basically, that's when he's gonna make his move kidnapping the son. So basically, it's most likely that the boss of the major gang is going to kidnap the son and force the Future Lord to use Tento as leverage to. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. So anyway, it's most likely that the boss of the major gang, who disguises himself as Tento's butler, is going to kidnap Tento, use Tento to make the people to get anything that they want from the Future Lord. So basically, they're going to use Tento as kidnap Tento, use it as leverage, and force the Future Lord to give into the major game's demands. And this is how the episode ended with the boss of the major game disguised as the butler, saying that soon once the Future Lord leaves, that's when I'm gonna make my move, kidnap Tento. And this is how the episode ended with the boss of the major game talking to his gang members for an earpiece, saying that I'm gonna make my move once the Future Lord finally leaves the village. And this is how the episode ended. So anyway, this was a good episode, Boruto. So once again, I hope that everybody is safe, from the coronavirus. So basically, I just want to say that I hope everybody's safe from the coronavirus. So anyway, all you viewers out there, I hope that you guys are all safe from the coronavirus. So anyway, what do you guys think about this episode? Was it good? Was it bad? Or was it just okay? Please let me know in the comments below this podcast. So anyway, like always, it's Central Michael from Screen Review. Sign off. 1.